Wow, we're back again as usual. Koiki Media, the platform that doesn't give room for nonsense. Moki Bubua, a very good morning as we're about to start another program. For those of you that are still awake, I welcome you. And for those of you that will watch it tomorrow, I also say good morning, good evening, and welcome to the live broadcast. This is Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. Aago méjìlá ló ṣe fi lọ lù níbi tí a tún máa bára wa dára wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ lórí kíni ẹ̀kọ́ lórí ìdí tí a ṣe ń sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ìgbà pé Nigeria is not likely to work and it is never going to work. So iṣẹ́ tàwa ni káwa máa rán yín létí. Ẹ̀yin ò ní láti gbà lọ́wọ́ wa. Ẹ kàn ní understanding pé bóyá rọ́ ni bí ó ti tọ́ ni ṣé Nàìjíríà lè work. That is all you need to be interested in. Àwa mọ̀ pé kò lè work, but àwọn kan sọ fún wa pé ó máa work. Time will tell, and this is why we are live frequently. A máa tún sọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀ lórí interface sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí, but ká tó máa lọ díẹ̀díẹ̀ nínú agbami ètò. Mo máa tún kí gbogbo èèyàn olólùfẹ́ wa pé abẹ́ ti sùn, abẹ́ ṣì wà awake. Ẹni tó bá ti sùn, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ jàǹfààní ètò náà bí ó ti ṣe máa wá láìpẹ́ yìí. Èní ṣì ní 31st. A máa ké pé oṣù tuntun within the next few minutes. A máa sọ pé happy new month ní oṣù November. But right now, we are still in the month of October. We are just, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Nigeria or nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ̀yin tí wà ní inú month of November. Àwa ó ṣì kù ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ tá a máa fi wà nínú the month of November. But gbogbo àná làjọ máa wọnú ẹ̀. Àsìkò tí àjọ ń gbéra ló yàtọ̀. But one thing is, Yoruba people will be free. Kò ní pẹ́ mọ́. While we are getting ready, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe máa fi lè jàǹfààní lọ. Mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. A ní pẹ́ púpọ̀. Kákọ̀ ti dára wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ díẹ̀ bí méjì mẹ́ta. Òun lè ta tún mú wá fún wa. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. We're almost there. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Ta ló ti sùn, ta ló ti sùn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Mo kí ìyá mi Gladys Ekalema. Mo kẹ́yìn ti Canada. Mo kẹ́yìn ti Japan. Mo kẹ́yìn ti Côte d'Ivoire. Abdullahi mo kí ẹ. Tiwa wọn ni. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Yoruba nation, no going back. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà. Tẹ̀ mọ́ lẹ́rù. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Maikola. Àjòjì tó bá wọ bẹ̀rù á fẹ̀dẹ̀ náà bọ̀ra. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o. Koiki Media, ṣáwa ni bàbá. Àwa ni bàbá. Àbíkílẹ̀ ni mo wí. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. Àdáńtọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Àwa ni bàbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mẹ́yẹ bọ̀ lápò ni. Ní pẹ́ má wọrí. Kákọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa constitution, the 1999 constitution. Àwọn ni bàbá. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ o, ó gbọ́dọ̀ kàngi lára ni. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ. Mo kí Yorùbá World Media. Mo kí Yorùbá Home Based Media. Mo kí YSDM. Mo kí Yeyedara Kowe. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn media wa, independent and all the media that are working tirelessly. Mo kí àwọn Biafra. Mo kí àwọn Arewa. Mo kí gbogbo self-determination around the world. Wàṣírí Abdullahi. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ti United Arab Emirates. The media is around to give us latest. To give us latest. Ẹnu náà lẹ sílẹ̀, ẹgbẹ́ tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó gbòòrò. Ẹnu kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. To give us latest. Èmi ni màmá fún yín ní gbogbo latest tí ẹ ní láti mọ̀. So I'm not sure why my Facebook. Okay, we are now live on the Facebook. I think I have to switch off my heater. This is the reason why we need Nigeria, so that we can get enough gas to feed us. You see, it's already circulating. The heater is boiling. So I might have to turn it off because it costs a lot of money. Yes. So it don't do ke. Owó ló ń jó yẹn. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa, Kúnlé Shita. Mo kí Kúnlé Bakers. Mo kí Zidola. Mo kí Mr. Titus Ọlálẹ́yẹ. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Simon Adébísí. Ìyá mi dáadáa, àwọn grandma. Ẹ má bínú pé mo lè join prayer yẹn ní àná because a ti wà ní aago 12. Èdè ní 1st of November. A dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run pé ó bá wa láyé ti last year bá wa ó fi wálẹ̀ inú oṣù yìí náà àwa la máa jèrè ẹ̀ pátápátá. Mo kí àwa Grace Senior JP, mo kí Grandma Lé Ajayi, mo kí ìyá mi Olúbùnmi Olóyèdé Ayélẹ́ka ẹ má yẹ kí n má sáká orin yín. Mo kí ìyá mi Gladys Olúbùnmi, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri. Èmi àbúrò yín náà ni, èmi àbúrò yín Ọláyọmí Kóìkì. I still have one more platform to go, so bí a kà sì tún gbọ́ tí olóyè Ìgbòho ti máa ń play yìí kákọ̀ gbádùn ilé mọ̀ ń bọ̀. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ o. Kò bá ti kú ọ̀tá ọ̀bá yọ ọ̀rọ̀ kò máa kú káwọn ọ̀tá lè yọ. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọlátúbọ̀sún, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí Òkè Ògùn, mo kí ẹ̀yin tí Ìwé Eré Ilé àwọ̀ ní dájọ́ ká má débẹ̀. Mo kí ọba Ìgbóni, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní ọjà ọ̀dàn, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin iron ladies, gbogbo yín pátápátá ni à ń kí. Tí olóyè bá ti ní ó ti yá náà la máa ń jáde. Tó bá tún ní kò tí ì yá a tún máa ṣe awareness lọ. Olóyè dájọ́ mẹ́jọ fún Fúlàní wọ̀gbẹ́. Ó yá gbóhùn sókè mò ń bọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ń lọ pa gáàsì mi torí owó ni, it's a lot of money. Bó ṣe ń jó yẹn but ó máa ń jẹ́ kí ilé warm. This is the reason why we must keep Nigeria. British, the king mighty sọ́sítà ọba lẹ́wà níbí báyìí ó wà ní Kenya. Ó náwọn lè apologize fún gbogbo táwọn ṣe ní Kenya. Má ní mi mo sọ fún ẹ o, má lórí Kóìkì ló ti gbọ́ o. Mo kí ìyá wa Moruf Lawal, mo kí bàbá Akíntóyè dáadáa. So mo fi lọ pa gáàsì yẹn. Tó tẹ́ bá ti fún mi lówó màá máa tàn mọ́jú, kò ṣe tàn mọ́jú. Akọ̀ máa ń tàn díẹ̀ kó kọ́ circulate kí lè fi warm. Ìyá mi Ọmọlára, Ìyábọ̀ Àjàlá, ìyá dáadáa. Mo kí ẹ Val, èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì, the Kóìkì Media. Mo kí my brother, inú yín máa ń dùn wọ́n ní táwọn bá ti rí Kóìkì báyìí náà máa ń dùn ni. Ayọ̀ yín náà ní bàjẹ́. Gbogbo tá à ń fẹ́ òun náà ni pé a fẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́. But interface sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí lálẹ́ yìí ní òru èní. Alẹ́ làwọn kan wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, ní Canada, àwọn bàbá àròpọ̀ rí California baby. Àwọn máa ń gbádùn, àwọn sì wà lọ́wọ́ ọ̀rọ̀lẹ́. Mo kí àwọn ìlànà Amẹ́ríkà, ìlànà Canada, mo kí ìlànà Nàìjíríà, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí ń darapọ̀ mọ́ mi lórí ìgbò là ń pè bíbà kí lórúkọ ẹ bíbà náà, TikTok. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram. Ó dà pé platform bíi méjì ló kù. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa gbọ́ Ìgbòho yẹn lọ kí n fi prepare platform tó kù.
Lápẹ̀rẹ̀ gidi gan-an ni fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá dàda. Orí ni àwọn Adéyẹmọ ọba ti pọ̀ ọ̀tá ìbáyọ̀ wọn ní alákọ̀ọ́rí ọmọ ti lọ. Èyí tí wọ́n rò yíyẹ tolúwọ́ ọba ńlọ kúkú sẹ́. Sunday ọba Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ṣàṣẹ́bẹ̀ lọ wà. Ọ̀gá máa dúpẹ́ lórí Olódùmarè ọba òkúri. Tó o bá ti tàbí wèrè pọ́jọ́ òde ó tó pé ńkọ́ kí lọ fẹ́ wá láàrin àwọn ọmọ adarí mú gan. Tàbí tó o bá ti tàbí kí ọmọ láàrin ìpẹ́ kí lọ máa ṣe dá òfin ìró. Ọjọ́ máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ alágbẹ̀dẹ àyànmọ́ ọba tó fi ọ́ dára tó dùn. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ò ìwọ náà kọ́ Olódùmarè ọba ní kí ọ lálùkẹ́. Sunday o.
Ẹ mọ̀ pé ìtàn yẹn má bínú pé mo interrupt ewì yẹn, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ máa kí Ìgbòho ká tó máa interrupt but brother mi o máa sanwó yẹn o máa sanwó interruption yẹn. Ìtàn yẹn kò ń ṣe tí yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ tàn, ó máa ń fọyàn lórí nígbà míì. Ó dàbí tó bá ní air condition náà ni, tó bá ti pọ̀ jù ó lè máa mú ẹ lótùtù. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín ní Nàìjíríà inú ooru lẹ́wà, kò ń ṣẹjọ́ yín. constitution Nàìjíríà ni. Mo kí ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Abdullahi.
Bí ọba ní pani kó yé dún màwúrú Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ó ti di bí àná yìí yé ẹjẹ ọgbẹ́ mú ewé kókò tó bá lè di ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ fọyà kó máa fọyà gbèrègbèrè sàǹgbọ́rọ̀ máa fọ́ ẹni ẹ bá wọ pé ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ti di bí àná yìí ẹ wò ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ìgbé òòṣà yé orí ìlà pé ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà ọmọ ọkọ ní ọ̀hún ṣéwù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọmọ bọ́ọ̀sì ìwọ ọlọ́pàá gàmbàrí nípa ìsìn Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ọ̀pá gàmbàrí nípa ìsìn ọ̀pá abúlé àdúgbò ọ̀pọ̀ ya onítọ̀ ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ náà Sunday gbòòsà yé ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ bàbá rẹ lọ òrò ọmọ fẹ̀lá ọ̀lẹ́nílé mùsùn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ọmọ ajásẹ́yìn ẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀ bàbá rẹ mo dé bọ́dà ní òde wọ́n di méjì ti báyìí rẹ̀ ta àwọn ọmọdé méjì báyìí rẹ̀ àgàdà yìí wọ́n di méjì báyìí gbẹ̀dínlógún ó kan ilà àárọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní gbogbo ilé wa àgàdà nínú bí àwọn rẹ̀ ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó lọ́kọ̀ ilé ti sọ́wọ́ akọ̀níṣọ́ lọ́kọ̀ ilé ti gbàlẹ̀ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Sunday ọ̀pọ̀ sàmà kú ogun ní nánilógún ogun ló lè lé àárọ̀ ogun ni wọ́n fi jagun bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ bó gùn òyì ẹjẹ́ anẹ́ta wọ lóògùn ọ̀nà Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ọ̀sà ló ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá gbòmìnira dandan ní ìṣọwọ́ àgbọ̀ ìlànà lọ́dún wọn lè ní ọmọ àlọ́ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ dákun mọ́rọ̀ làwọn oníṣẹ́ ẹ̀tọ́ kálukú mọ̀ fi dùn wọ́n orí kálukú ló gbé ẹ̀dẹ́kọ̀ tó dùn wọ́n á máa gbọ́ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tàtà ẹ̀ tẹ́wá lóye ẹja fọwọ́pọ̀ àgbẹ̀ ẹni tó wá fi sẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lárugẹ gidi ni ẹni méjì wọ̀ wọn ò dùn ẹjọ́ òròdù lọ sí ibà méjì kọ́ ẹni tó wá fi sára ọgẹ́tọ̀ sí ẹni tó fi ra wọn Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ tó fi ra tiwa akọni tiwa akọni jagunjagun ọkùnrin tààrà pọ̀dọ̀kẹ́lẹ́ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ wọn a máa gbọ́n fẹ́ sàkóso fún wọn ni ẹni tó bá ní kó òkú ní kékeré kó máa fọwọ́ náà wọ́n síra wọn wọ́n ní kàkọ́ máa ṣe àrẹ kúkú dànù ayọ́yẹ pọ̀ ní kú lọ́wọ́ ọmọ gbá kékeré tó kékeré ìdáhọ́ ilé ọmọ gbẹ̀yìn agbẹ̀dẹ òsì pàtàkì òní kúrú òdòkó tẹ̀ máa gbọ́ àwọn bàbá rẹ tó ti wà níbùgbé ìdájọ́ wọn máa fọwọ́ tí ọ gẹ́gẹ́ ni àwọn alágbá jagun tí wọ́n ní jagun ṣáájú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọn máa fi ọ́ tí ọ gẹ́gẹ́ ni Oòduà Ọlọ́fin Ọbàtálá Báṣọ̀run Àjàká Àjàngẹ̀tìrẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹ̀fọ́fọ̀fẹ́rì lánàfọ́kúta òmùlẹ̀ òmùlẹ̀ ìjọba àbòrílá àbòríkòkò alùpùpù àbá òkèdè pé.
Ti gbà wípé mo ti pa Wi-Fi àtẹnkan kò connect.
ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho sáńpọ̀ ló ti di pẹ̀tùpẹ̀tù tí ẹ ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lárúkọ lọ́dún gbọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ jó òkun lẹ̀yà ọ̀sẹ̀ pẹ̀yẹ́rìn kẹ́ni ẹ̀ máa ń dè bàbá rẹ̀ lọ òrùkàtàlì gbàgbà kẹ́ni ẹ̀ máa ń dè bàbá rẹ̀ lọ alárúgbó parúmọ́ Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ní oṣù olùkọ́ òde gbangba Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ó ti di gbogbo ọdún ó ti wà lókè ẹ̀ ní ẹ̀ bá ní ọjà kọ́kọ́ máa kú ni máa gbọ́ tó orí má bẹ̀rù ọ̀tẹ̀ mọ́ orí ní gbogbo fùrùfùrù labalábá tí wọ́n ń dìbò lẹ́kùn Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho sà orí bí wọ́n ti ń wọṣọ àkísà máa gbọ́ yẹ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà bá lóye akọ́dà ayé ọgbọ́ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ní ẹja àfọwọ́tì àti yìí débi tó lágbẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹja àfọ tẹ́lẹ̀ èmi tún ẹwà òjì mi kò lè gbé wa dédé kankan pa akọ́dà ayé ọgbọ́ ẹja àfọwọ́pọ̀ ká bí ẹni tó ń gbọ́ pàfẹ́sẹ̀ lárugẹ ni ẹ máa gbọ́ òní ẹbọ ìgbésẹ̀ wọn máa tọ́ra òní ni igi igbó sórí pọ̀ wọ́n dìgbẹ́ ẹ̀rí ni àwọn àgbàlagbà wọ́n ní bí orí bá dúró tọrùn inú téèyàn ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ gan ni Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ máa bá ọjọ́ òní ọjọ́ burúkú tó lápẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tí wọ́n ṣerú rú ẹ̀ mo ò lè mú jẹ́ má ṣe pé ṣùgbọ́n nù rẹ̀ tó ọba tó pátápátá ẹ̀ bọ̀ ìmọ̀lẹ̀ thank you àrò ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ gbogbo tó ọba tó àrò ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ àwọn tó mú kọ́tò ò náà wáyé má ṣe pé ọ ṣùgbọ́n má jẹnu rẹ̀ ó gbófò
kábíyèsí Olódùmarè
pátápátá àrò ní ọmọ àrò mọ́ wọ́n máa fèyí sí lọ́lé wa kì í ṣe é mà wọ́n lè bí ilé rẹ̀ wípé ìtàlọ́kùnrin ìwòsàn lápẹ̀rẹ̀ lágbájá ní tàmẹ̀dọ́ni ìmọ̀lẹ́ akébìrì ọmọ wọn ló gbọmọ̀ sọ àjílété mo bọ́lúwa mi dúpẹ́ mọ́ kẹrù àgbà.
Mo kí Pastor Emmanuel Tọ́gbà àwọn lè má ní chọ́ọ̀chì tó tóbi but Ọlọ́run gbàdúrà níbi tó ní nítorí pé ìjẹ̀sìn kọ́ la gbé dání a máa play anthem wa àwọn dúró tán wọ́n níran Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ bọ́ tá bá ní Yorùbá country wàá máa ṣẹ̀sìn ẹ̀ kò sẹ́nìkan tó máa disturb ẹ̀ mùsùlùmí á máa ṣe mùsùlùmí, oníṣẹ̀ṣe á máa ṣe tiẹ̀, kìrìsìtẹ́nì á máa ṣe tiẹ̀, bọ̀ kò ń ṣe ìtàn ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn tí wọ́n ń control gbogbo wa láti north, àti mùsùlùmí àti kìrìsìtẹ́nì wọ́n ń control gbogbo wa. Kódà Tinubu sọ pé Ṣèyí Tinubu àfi máa rí ẹ nínú Federal Executive Council, ẹ má jẹ́ kó wọlé sí bíbá mọ́, kí ló ń wá kiri Ṣèyí Tinubu? Mo ní kó tẹ̀ sí wọn lójú kó gbádùn Àbújá, mo ò ní kó tó máa lọ jókòó sínú Federal Executive Council meeting, kí ló ń wá níbẹ̀? Ọmọ kékeré nìyẹn, kí ló ń wá níbẹ̀? Fìyẹn sílẹ̀ fún bàbá ẹ̀, ọdún mẹ́rin náà ni, lẹ́yìn ọdún mẹ́rin aṣọ ọdún mẹ́jọ, ṣáà make sure pé o gba gbogbo contract tó lè gbà. Ilé tó rà sí London $11 million ó sì wà níbẹ̀, kò tó rà míì, but má máa lọ sí security meeting, ní ìdẹ́ níbẹ̀. O lè máa lọ bí bàbá ẹ̀ nínú bedroom, kí ló ń wá kiri? You are only less than 40 years old. O tún fẹ́ máa mọ tó ń lọ nínú fed, okay, o ń protect dádì ẹ̀, pẹ̀lẹ́. Àwa ń fàdúrà ràn dádì ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́, ọdún mẹ́rin ni. Is either gbogbo wa lọ in peace or we go in pieces. Ìkànnì méjèèjì ni. Ẹ gbádùn Àbújá dáadáa, ẹ tẹ̀ sí wa lójú, ẹ mu champagne, àwọn ọmọ Haúsá náà ti gbádùn bẹ́ẹ̀ rí. Ẹ jẹ́ kí Ṣèyí Tinubu gbádùn presidency, but má lọ sí Federal Executive Council meeting, ní ìdẹ́ níbẹ̀, okay? Ṣèyí Tinubu, ní ìdẹ́ níbẹ̀. Let's go further. Mo kí Ìbà Gani Adams lógún ọ̀fẹ́ o, mo kí àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re, mo kí gbogbo àwọn baálẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. I say good evening and welcome to this transmission. Mo kí Grandma Comfort Adeleye, mo kí yín. I say shout out to our Biafra brothers. Leslie, a very good evening to you. I haven't seen my sister in Canada, the Biafra. She must be working very hard. We appreciate everyone that joined the platform just to listen to us. Remember, this is a activist page. This is a self-determination page. This is a page that wants Nigeria to break. This is a page that wants Nigeria Union to be dismantled, so that the indigenous people will go have our own separate country. The king, before I go into, and I say thank you so much to Bashegun. He was one time the leader of the Yoruba movement in UK for Ilano, UK. I say shout out to all our Yoruba councillors, or probably Nigerian councillors that are working in UK, regardless of their views. Some of them are in support of the movement, but they can't come out officially for one reason or the other. Moki Sheikh, Imam, Moki Morin Lenkan, Ejan Fit, Ledumare, Kinfi Kinsa, Moki Sheikh, Imam Nazir, àdúrà yẹn á máa gbà lé wa lórí. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílùú Ìlọrin, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ní Cuba, ní Haiti. Ǹjẹ́ mọ̀ pé Haiti ló kọ́kọ́ gba independent lọ́wọ́ British? Èmi náà ṣe gbọ́ ni. Ẹ lọ wo bí Haiti ṣe rí lénìí, ẹ máa bá wọn sunkún. Ọba wa, the king, God bless the king. Ìwọ lè sọ nǹkan mi, I live here, so I will say God bless the king, okay? Ìwọ ilé mi ń gbé. Ìwọ tó gbé ní bíbá, you can say anything about King Charles, but I live here. But the king is currently in Kenya. Maybe we should start with that. Mokegbomi Rugi Giant. And I'll be, appreciating you all as you come into the program. Okay, got their independence from France. Really? Okay. So in Boba Moshewagbo UK, Abiwani, okay, the first African country that got independent. Okay, maybe that is the phrase that was used on Saturday. Because I know that Haiti was mentioned. There was a revolution. Emma Binukwe, I deviate there, but the focus is on the 1999 Constitution. But Mokia, my grandma, Folashade Ojo, Etubanki grandma, she's a grandma, but what you need grandma nile, there are some grandmas that are 80 plus. Some of them are moving towards 90. Some of them are 70. And they are with us back to back. Financially, prayers, and also words of advice. Ebanki grandma, and shout out to all our grandmothers. And your grandfather no, Emma Binu, Akeyi no. Only daddy work on Belgium. He hardly sleep till early hours of the morning because he wants to catch up with every program of the self-determination. They don't have a job, so we've probably kept them busy. My mom doesn't sleep till probably the early hours of the morning. I'm going to come back to King Charles. He's currently in Kenya, and I copy what BBC said, which some of you will be hearing for the first time. Aventoba will BBC 10 o'clock news, Lano. I've told you I am your international media. Don't worry, whatever you don't know, I can bring it here. And the one I don't know, you can share with me in the comment section. Mr. Isa Kolawole Awede Kazim says, good evening, Mr. Koiki. When I play Ebenezer Obey, old school, he mentioned your family name. That is my dad. I've talked about him so many times on the platform. Babato Bimini. Yeah. There was a revolution in Haiti on the 22nd of August, 1791. Nobody wants anybody to be free. You have to fight to be free. As at the time. But Odankwe Awati say, we are very, very comfortable. Extremely comfortable, and we don't want to be free. So, I love Miracle, and I've listened to one that came from Cameroon advising the federal government of Nigeria to discuss with the Biafra before next year whether that prophecy will be truthful or not. We might probably not know until it gets closer and closer and things turn the other way around. But I'm going to start with that 80 because, we mentioned it briefly before we go into what I'm about to read. I didn't put it together, okay? So don't think, this guy is so genius. I was sitting here and I thought, after reading it, maybe I should present it. And this is how we do our program. I don't have any script. I was thinking I should go to bed, but I thought, even if it's just for a few hours. I operate from here in UK. So you're watching a live transmission. The Haitian, Haitin, the Haitian Revolution. Hear that word. So it seems that, like I always say, Showore must have read a lot of books about revolution. So Nigerians do not want to go in the line of what Showore is saying, but they want the best for Nigeria. How that is going to happen, don't ask me. I don't know. But you are not likely to read the best of Nigeria if we continue with the current state of things, especially using the same the same constitution. I don't want to use constitution. I wanted to use antidote. Ashatishe, it is soon. Mama ki yami. Mo wà lórí ètò yín pàápàá ẹ ṣé gan tẹ́yin náà tó dúró tì wá lálẹ́. A ti wà lẹ́ni 1st of November. Àdúrà gbogbo wa gbà. But the likely that àdúrà yẹn máa gbà nínú Nigeria is very, very slim. Ilẹ̀ wa kọ́ ló ní problem, but àwọn tó ń darí ẹ̀ tó gbélé lọ́wọ́, àwọn ló jẹ́ kó ní problem. And we talked about that briefly during my afternoon program yesterday. Nígbà tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ iṣu èlùbọ́ kankan. Mr. Abdullahi Bashiru, the Nigeria is going to break, but nobody knows when, because we are not ready for it to break. So, àwa ń bẹ̀rù pé, how is it going to break? Koiki ṣó lè ṣàlàyé fún wa bó ṣe máa break. Èmi náà dẹ̀ wọ́n pé, bí a ká lọ lórí M1, àwọn kan ní no, don't go on the M1 route because a lè lọ pàdé oríṣiríṣi nǹkan lọ́nà. Because tẹ́ bá lọ lórí M1, mọ the end of it. Okay. But let me just quickly say that in 1791, kò tí sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ Nigeria. There was nothing called Nigeria in 1791. I got to reduce my volume because people are sleeping. So what we were told that there is country called Nigeria in even 1804, there was nothing called Nigeria. So today, the reason why we are called Nigeria is because of the fraudulent 1914 amalgamation. We must continue to remind Nigerians that all the time. A ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, a tún máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí dáadáa. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Temi sọ pé the Borno governor already hinted indirectly what they have been cooking, that Nigeria will be wiped up on the map. I'm going to do a program continuously using the same headline but twisting it, probably maybe throughout the month of November, so that you will probably be able to get a better understanding. Ẹ má bínú pé òyìnbó díẹ̀ ń jáde nínú program. The Haitian Revolution, according to the Wikipedia, which is in front of me, I'm not reading it off head, I am using Google. It was a French revolution, a Haitian or French Lagoura the Independent. And thank you so much for whoever corrected me earlier to say, no, it was not from Britain, they were from France. We don't know everything, so we got to learn. This revolution took place because people wanted to be free from the French colony as at that time. Just like the Mau Mau, no kunshi moi moyo, wọ́n pa àwọn kan ní Mau Mau, is another rebellion. Mau Mau, kunshi màlúù, ó fi jọ sound yẹn. but it's Maumau. It was another rebellion that took place between 1952, while Nigeria was still trying to get itself together, after Babawolowo, Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, and the rest of them were pushing the European colony back, the British. There was another revolution that was taking place in Kenya. The same Kenya the king have visited. I have not touched the real topic yet, but trust me, I will talk about it. Even because that is the reason why I came out. But there's no way you can come out for do program because I don't have any script. I can easily move things around so that mo fẹ́ jẹ́ kí mind yín máa rántí pé in tá à ń béèrè fún yìí, what we are asking for self-determination, it is not like you can go to Tesco and buy it. And I think Yeye Dara Kowe, I've said something like that before as well. I think I heard that. Self-determination, if it was something that I can buy from Lidl, I will buy it tomorrow and distribute it to every Yoruba people. But the only thing we can do is Lati Shibrenwa talk about things that probably would ginger us a little bit and prepare our mind. Because Omo Yoruba ń parọ́ fúnra wọn, fi prepare mind wa for what might be the eventuality of this Yoruba nation movement. We want Yoruba nation, we want our sovereignty, but we are living in denial. À ń parọ́ fúnra wa. Mr. Koiki Onawola Magba, ìwọ náà mọ̀, èmi náà mọ̀. You don't need to ask me. Because àwọn tó jà níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn for their own kind of freedom, it was do or die. You must give something to take something. It's the same thing, our time she prayer. You push the prayer, wàá push prayer, but tó bá ṣe prayer. Oh, wàá ṣe ìtọrẹ àánú. Wàá máa sọ fún ẹ pé àdúrà yẹn ó lè máa hang. Kí ló rò pé ṣe máa ní ẹ̀pin fruit, ẹ̀pin sugar, ẹ̀pin àbẹ́là, ẹ̀pa màálù, àbí kẹ́pẹ́ ẹran. Tó bá lè pẹ́ ẹran padìyẹ, tó bá lè padìyẹ. Kí ló rò pé ṣe máa ní ẹ lọ borí yín. Because you want to give, you want to get something, you must give as well. Sometimes it might not be as I'm saying it, but I'm sure spiritually, and I'm not talking from the context of religion now, I am just talking as African. We must give to take, but our Yoruba have a take. At the morning, say, ọmọ máa bọ̀bọ̀ ìwò ṣe ń dán lára ó kàn ń tẹ̀sí wa lójú. But tẹ́yìn náà bá wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá máa dánjú èmi lọ. You might not even need to travel out of Yoruba land. Many Americans have never traveled out of Americans ò ní passport. Àwa la ṣe ń láwọn lójú. There are some British that doesn't have passport. They don't have passport. They don't need it. What are they looking for? They are living in a country. They are getting benefit. If they are sick, they have sick benefit. Americans don't have passport. Àwa la ṣe débẹ̀ la ṣe ń láwọn lójú. Mo kí yín Alájà Ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé gbogbo Manchester. A máa rọrùn fún yín náà ni. Àwọn ti pẹ́ ní UK. Àwọn èèyàn máa ń dé sí wọn lọ́wọ́. Sometimes wàá ṣoore fẹ́ lòmíì kò ní payback. Àwọn ti gba kádàrá pé bọ́lọ̀ ń ṣe dá wọn nìyẹn. Ní gbogbo Manchester, àwọn ló dibẹ̀ mú. Some people don't have passport. Ìgbà táwọn Africa ṣe ń lọ, wait, you don't have passport? Brother mi kan gbé nílùú kan tó ń pè ní Malaysia, mo ti sọ rí. He's currently in UK now. Ìyàwó tó fẹ́ láti Malaysia kò ní passport. Passport in Malaysia dẹ̀ dé ìlú yìí without no visa. But passport in Nigeria ò dé ìlú yìí láti Malaysia. Drug ló ń ṣe ní Malaysia. Only few people are doing legitimate job in that area. Mo rí easy dollar. Tó bá ti wọlé mo mọ̀ pé ó ti wọlé, mo ti smell ẹ̀, mo ti feel ẹ̀. Drug ló ń ṣe ní Malaysia. Wọ́n ibẹ̀ lọ ti wáyà gbogbo owó drug ni, rakatia ló ń ṣe níbẹ̀. Tó bá dín ọ̀kan bá sọ pé wọ́n wà ní Malaysia, kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń ṣe níbẹ̀. Wọ́n bu dán níbẹ̀ ni. But ibẹ̀ kọ́ mo bẹ̀rẹ̀. I am just trying to remind us that Sherry Yoruba nation that we want, it is not going to be as easy as some of you are thinking. Mo ti rí logo ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. It is not going to be as easy, but a lè wá máa bẹ Ọlọ́run in our different spiritualism, because má rò pé ẹ̀sìn ti ẹnìkan ló wà lágbàáyé. Ọmọ ẹ̀sìn pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ, àwọn kan ń bọ igi, ó dẹ̀ ń jẹ́ fún wọn. But there are things that Yoruba people must start putting pé akọni ni wá. Ẹ wo báwọn èèyàn wọ́n ní Ìgbòho ní déwé lérí ìwéré ilé, àmọ́ multiple Ìgbòho ó wọbẹ̀. Ibi tí mo ti ń sọ pé you think the governors don't know that Igboho is coming? You think they don't know? They know. But they are not likely to stop him. Because you do not defeat an ideology. You can't. You can stop it. You can slow it down, like we have seen in the Yoruba nation. Kódà ẹlòmíì á tún máa bí mi pé, are we still doing Yoruba nation? Ìwéré ilé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Because we are not yet prepared. Ẹ lọ wo, is it kí lorúkọ film yẹn, ẹran mi létí back up, King of the àwọn Women of the King. Yeah, the Women King. If you have Netflix or ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nigeria, ẹ mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ń hell yẹ ẹ̀yin mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ń download àwọn film. Nigerians are very good. And when I say Nigerians, we know that we are the indigenous people. Ẹ lọ wo the Women King. That is the mentality that should be in our head today. Even if we are not going to go through the route of the M1, we must have it at the every Yoruba but already in Tobagba Lama fun. Even if America say no, we will tell America is either you are with us or you are not with us. Ẹlọgbọ́n kan tí Netanyahu sọ, ó ní there is time for God and there is time for war. Àsìkò tẹ́ ń pe Ọlọ́run wà, àsìkò ogun wà. Akọnilẹ̀ Yorùbá. So, Baba para quickly ká tó wá move away from the revolution side. The Haitian Revolution was a successful insurrection by self-liberated slaves. Do you want to be liberated or you want to remain as a slaves? Mélòó làwọn politicians wà? Àìtí débi ojú kókó tá máa gbá sí dáadáa. In ta ṣe ń ṣe nísìnyí, a ṣe ń mú lọ́wọ́ kéékèèké, à ń mú lọ́wọ́ kéékèèké, à ń mú lọ́wọ́ kéékèèké, a ṣe ń rí lórí ni. But if you are not preparing your mind for that, tá bá tẹ̀ sọ pé referendum ti yá, àbí a máa lọ lẹ́sìn ta anyhow. Some of you will just àdàbí bàbá tí Ìgbòho ń lọ sí Ìgàngán tó tilẹ̀kùn mọ́rí tó ní kó máa bá òun ro àmàlà. Ẹni tó yẹ kó kọ́kọ́ gbá aṣọ sọ́rùn kó ní Ìgbòho àjọ máa dé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Can you imagine? That is the kind of mentality that I'm talking about. Èmi ò ní láti dárúkọ ẹni tí mò ń sọ, ó ti yé yín. Ìgbòho ń lọ Ìgàngán, ó ní kíyàwó òun tilẹ̀kùn mọ́rí pẹ̀lú òun kó wá ro àmàlà fóun. If you have that same mentality, you are not getting Yoruba nation. That kind of mentality is not going to work. You need to have a mentality that in Tobagba la fi fún. You might say, ṣé wọn náà máa wá? I've told you so many times, 72 hours. That's all I need. So when we look at these kind of liberated slaves. Kí ló mean by that? Slave rebellion is an armed uprising by enslaved people as a way of fighting for their freedom. Rebellions of enslaved people have occurred in nearly all society that practice slavery or have practiced slavery in the past. The question is the 1999 Constitution part of the slave being used on us, and how do we take it down? Mo fẹ́ link ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn mọ́ra wọn nísìn. Àwa ò ní nǹkan ìjà tá a fẹ́ lò. But we must prepare our mind that gbogbo tá a máa lò pátá látòkè délẹ̀ ó wà nínú Nàìjíríà. It is just how are we ready when the time comes. We need those kind of energy kó máa boil nínú wa so that tó bá ti sọ pé ó ti yá náà nìyẹn. But èyí tẹ́ ṣe ń béèrè pé Mr. Koiki ìyàwó tó wà nílé bàtà ló máa fún lówó ọbẹ̀, you are not yet ready. Irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kọ́ là ń sọ. Mo kí African Confidential. So I've given you the background to how the Haitian Revolution took place between August 22nd, 1791. Wọ́n jà títí di 1804. How many years was that? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ mọ̀ maths, ẹ sáré bá mi calculate. It started in 1791, August. It ended in 1804. Let me quickly see in the comment section, how many years was that? Gbogbo ntọ́mọ Yorùbá need pátá to get our freedom is in Nigeria. But something is pulling our spirit back. And what is that? Part of the corruption put together called the fraudulent 1999 Constitution. Mokis Park Lizzie, silent listeners, I know you are behind the scene, behind the curtains. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí wá tẹ́lẹ̀ rí tẹ́tí sálọ, tẹ́tí bá 2x2 lọ. I've given you the Haitian. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I might reference back to that. Let's go back and look at the Mau Mau Rebellion, because that will be the next video I'm going to play, because King Charles is in Kenya and something took place that you might be hearing for the first time if you have not watched the BBC news yesterday or some other news. Eshegoni Iyami Comfort Adeleye. Ẹ̀yin ò fẹ́ wàhálà. A dẹ̀ fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation, but àwọn ẹ má bínú pé mo tún padà sí because wọ́n ti fún mi ní year yẹn nísìn. 13 years people were fighting the French to be free. 13 good years ni àwọn Haitian fi bá àwọn French colony ní 1791. As at the time, it was probably Oyo Empire. And Tabawo 1804 tó parí ẹ̀, by 1884, another few more years after that, they started doing what they called Scramble for Africa. So when we look at what ended in 1804 with the former colony independent, it involved black, biracial, French, Spanish, British, Polish participants with enslaved Toussaint Louverture, Francois Toussaint Louverture, also known as Toussaint Louverture or Toussaint Brother, 20th of May 1743 up to 7th of April 1803, was an Haitian general and the most prominent leader of the Haitian Revolution. Ó dàbí ìgbà tí à ń rí olóyè Ìgbòho tí ọba Elédùmarè tó fi kẹwàá pẹ̀lú àwọn ìyàwó àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀. Kò táwọn ìyàwó ẹ̀ bá sọ pé no is no, ẹ ṣe gan ni lórí TikTok, I was able to get 13 years as well. Àwọn tó rí YouTube àwọn yẹn ti sùn. Àwọn sì pẹ̀lú mi lálẹ́. There must always be a general. But today, Yoruba people do not want to respect the general. Mo ní kò sí Ìgbòho ẹ̀ lè gba Yorùbá nation. Èmi ti sọ yẹn ti pẹ́. Because òun gangan ni general. Èmi ò know òun ni the best. But ní general, àwa tó kù la máa wá máa bá general ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹni tó máa drive ọ̀kadà máa wà nù wa. Ẹni tó máa jẹ́ mechanic. Ẹni tó máa wá jẹ́ àwọn adviser lẹ́gbẹ̀gbẹ̀. General ṣe wá decide pé advice tẹ̀ mú wá yẹn ó dà pé mo nílò. Advice ilé máa ń lò. A máa lo ilé, à nílò ilé. Mo tún gbọ́ pé not only did Haitians free themselves, they also help liberate other countries. Because through tiwọn làwọn African countries tó kù fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gba independent. But it took 13 years. Ọmọ Yorùbá ò tí ṣe 5 years nínú movement yìí. Mo kí comrade George Akínọlá. Even mo kí Victor Taiwo. Even I might disagree with some of his views sometimes. But they've done their best. What we are saying is that we are now at a crossroad to take back what belongs to us. But are we truly ready to take it back? Like Showore. Ẹ rò pé Showore stupid tó ní take it back. Take it back. You must take it back. You must take it back. Àwọn Nigerians ò fẹ́ take it back lọ ṣe lọ́tún lọ́n fi PVC. Happy New Month. Nigerians do not want to take it back. That is why they are using their PVC to bring somebody else in. And some of them are so bitter, like Atiku and obedient. And like I said, Seyi Tinubu, we don't need you at the federal executive meeting. Enjoy life. Go anywhere within Aso Rock. But when they are doing federal executive meeting, we do not want to see you inside there. That is what your father said, not me. We leave Haiti and quickly come to Mau Mau rebellion. What took place? Because some of you don't know all these things. I don't know some of them as well. I learn along the line. Happy New Month. And to batin Happy New Month. Emma Fumilowo, Emma fi account number sita. Happy New Month with money ni. Happy New Month Koiki. If everyone that watch my video gives me $1, kò ní strain ẹlòmíì tó fẹ́ fún wa ní 50. But it's because some of you are not giving us money. So àwọn tó máa fún wa 100 yẹn wọ́n ọ̀dẹ̀ pọ̀. I mean, how can we have 3,000 people watching our program and we cannot get $1? Even that $1, convert it to Naira and give it to me in Naira. You will see what I can do when I have that bulk of money with my media. Ẹ̀yin máa rò pé ṣé tí bá fún Koiki ní 1,000 naira ṣó máa kéré àbò máa kú? No. Every time I'm doing my program now from this month, if you're watching my program, donate $1 or £1. Donate that just to support us. If you can do more, fine. But I would rather love to see, this is the third videos I'm doing today. I mean, I don't get tired. Ẹ̀yin máa rò pé owó yẹn kéré, ẹ̀yin donate, ẹ̀yin send the same account to me. You will be pleased that what you are doing is also helping the platform. Because, okay, and honestly, àwọn ọmọ mi méjì kan, they had to do some movement. I had to send money to them. Tí ìbá ní náírà yẹn kí ni máa ṣe? Let's continue to support the platform. Now, ta ló ti gbọ́ nípa Mau Mau rebellion rí? Ẹ má parọ́. This is a platform that we share knowledge. Mau Mau. M-A-U-M-A-U. How many people have heard about it? Let me first do, at exactly 1 o'clock, we go straight into the 1999 fraudulent constitution. And that was put together by Bashegun. Bàbá yẹn ní, ó ní brain. Wọ́n fẹ́ destroy bàbá yẹn nígbà kan. TJ, gbọ́ nípa Mau Mau rebellion rí? Interesting. Tí TJ ò báyìí ti gbọ́ tó dẹ̀ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà náà probability pé wọ́n ti gbọ́ máa wà o. How many people have heard about Mau Mau? Yes or no? Just say yes. I just want to, how many people? Waris yẹn máa mọ Waris yẹn orí ẹ̀ tí mo mọ̀rọ̀ brain tó wà lórí Waris òun máa ní tẹ́ bá ti destroy naira Nigeria máa drop down, but I still believe ẹni mo kí bàbá wa ọba ńlá Ọlálẹ́yẹ Paul. Okay, I'm not getting a lot of people commenting, so ọba ńlá sọ pé no kò ń ṣe ọba ńlá woman yẹn ọ̀tọ̀ lélẹ́yìí o, Ọlálẹ́yẹ Paul làwọn eléyìí. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. All right, maybe a few people I've heard about it. All right, let's give you a background of it. This was a rebellion that took place between 1920 and 1963 in Kenya. It was bloody. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ni Yorùbá ń fi gbọ́, blood kẹ̀ Koiki Òtútù dé lálẹ́ kò sí revolution tó ní ta ìjẹ sílẹ̀. You want to be free? You must prepare your mind. Àwọn ló ń send a request láti bọ̀ síbi àwọn àgbẹ̀ request kankan. Because I'm ọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn tẹ́ jẹ́ kàkà tí 11 lè jẹ́ àwọn obìnrin lélẹ̀ nísìnyí tán send a request wa. Bí wọ́n bá gbé nísìnyí lọ́wọ́ aṣọ ìwòwò wọn nísìnyí. Now, the Mau Mau rebellion took place from 1952 up to 1960. Or you can call it Mau Mau uprising. Also known as Mau Mau uprising or the Mau Mau revolt or Kenya emergency. Can we also have an emergency? Do we need uprising? You ask yourself. I don't know. But everybody knows truly what will be the end game of Yoruba nation. And I'll just leave it like that. Because I don't want people to come on this platform and think, people, boy, it will be violent, ìwọ máa ń fi sọ̀rọ̀. Èmi kàn fi jẹ́ kí brain wa kó wà expose dáadáa. Mo nurture brain wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìnyí. Ìtàṣìṣe nísìnyí yẹn. I thought we tried for 3 years, but it seems there was a crack láàrin méjì. Nígbà tí mo ní ká má ṣe election, tí mo ń jókòó sí ibà, tí mo ń fẹ́ fún, kò ní selection. Ṣé fẹ́ padà tẹ́ sí mi lójú bí ìyá mi Àṣàtìṣe náà ṣe sọ lórí program wọn lálẹ́ àná. Ẹ náà wà la fẹ́ da Nigeria rú. Sorry, I can't bring anybody in as well through the Twitter space. It's very late and I don't want other noise. I'm trying to even control my noise, my own voice. I can't bring anybody in. There's no call, there's nothing tonight. So when I was saying Mukiya mi comfort Ologunja and Muki Ubawon Tonshi a night job anywhere in the world, even in Nigeria, I've seen people call me and say, Mr. Koiki, it's a night in the Monshe. But whatever we are doing, this was between the British and Kenya. King Charles is currently in there. Maybe we should listen to this first and then I will read about it again. This was played out yesterday on the BBC 10 o'clock news. And let's listen to it together. My name is Olami Koiki. Wi-Fi me. Call it download. And I'm going to start sharing these. I recorded this from my 60-inch screen TV. Yeah. I'm going to connect YouTube láti máa rí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Easy Dollar Money irúkọ tí mo fẹ́ máa gbọ́ nìyẹn. Mo kí gbogbo yín, mo kí Azeez Miami, mo dẹ̀ kí Easy Dollar dáadáa, mo kí gbogbo yín tẹ́ wà ní Yankee, mo dẹ̀ kí àwọn ọmọlúàbí apparel ẹ kú tọ́jú Koiki Media. Let's listen to this. Ṣé òun lè lè ṣá? Okay, mo fẹ́ pé kò tí download èyí tí mo fẹ́ kọ́ rí yẹn. Nígbà tí convoy àwọn ọmọ Ìgbòho òṣà nígbà tó ń lọ tọwọ́ sí Ìwérélé, mo sọ fún yín pé Ìgbòho kankan ló wà, multiple Ìgbòho ló wà. And Oloye is doing very well. We don't need to trouble him. Let him stay with his family and enjoy the precious time with his family. Tó bá ní message, I need deliver. But for now, There's no message. Okay. So if you're asking how is Igbowo, he's doing very well. On download level, it's fast. It's not like Nigeria. Unless it's 1 minute 34 seconds. You watching tonight with me is, well, let's listen to this first. I gotta increase the volume. I cannot use the speaker, but tomorrow I'm a blue dada. But electrician, so we just have to manage it. So let's increase the volume.
But he did not formally apologize for past abuses.
And this is a lot too fast.
Kenyan struggle for independence, but he did not formally apologize for past abuses, a gesture many activists had wanted. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell reports from Kenya.
The welcome on an African night was a warm one. But King Charles knows he faces a sensitive challenge. It has fallen to him to deal with the legacy issues. There's the matter of slavery, and on this visit, Britain's conduct during its colonial past.
No, there was no pity in my heart.
70 years ago in Kenya, there was an uprising against the then British colonial rulers. The Mau Mau rebellion was crushed with great brutality. Many were tortured, thousands died. At a state banquet in Nairobi, the king spoke about painful times.
The wrongdoings of the past are a cause of the greatest sorrow and the deepest regret. There were abhorrent and unjustifiable acts of violence committed against Kenyans, and for that there can be no excuse.
There was no apology as such. Both Buckingham Palace...
Did you hear that? The king did not apologize. I'll leave you to start thinking. Báwo la ṣe máa bọ́ kúrò nínú Nigeria? If you think anybody is going to take responsibility for what they've done in Nigeria, they are not going to. This is a state visit by King Charles to Kenya. He refused to apologize for the wrongdoing of what took place between the time that British colony was in charge of that geographical part of Africa called Kenya. You can see the reason why my blood goes sometimes, because I know that nobody is going to take responsibility for the 1914 amalgamation. We would have to pull it down with whatever means that we can. I'm going to play it again. Then I'm going to move on because I'm going to use this phone to set up another Instagram. Let's listen to it one more time. And I'm going to share this. When I listen to it, and the good thing about the new technology, you can rewind it. So I listened to it, then I rewind it, then I did a recording. So that you can get it that it is the BBC, that you pay tax, you pay TV license. You don't want to support Koiki Media, but you are using your money to fund BBC. And BBC is not going to give you the kind of content that I will give you on this platform. Let's listen to it again.
Of the British Empire during the Kenyan struggle for independence.
Did you hear that? During the Kenya struggle for independence. We are just fighting for real independence. There was nothing called independent in 1960. And that would then move straight to, as soon as this video finishes, I'm going to move straight to the real conversation because I have to read it out. Don't think anybody's going to take responsibility for the crime against humanity of the indigenous people in what is called Nigeria today. Bones, okay, these are journalists that are well paid. Okay. Every time you watch my video, give us £1, $1. It will go a long way. Just as you are paying the TV license for BBC and they are operating around the world. If I have $30,000 tonight, give me 2 months $30,000. And you pay me 2 months. And you will see what that $30,000 can do on the ground. I will use some for myself, but the rest, you will feel it. You'll be asking me that Koiki showed you $30,000. But the Yoruba people don't want to invest in the media. You don't want to invest in the media that is propagating and talking about the movement. But you are paying BBC TV license. And you tell Nigeria, but I'm talking to those in UK. They know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Of the British Empire during the Kenyan struggle for independence, but he did not formally apologise for past abuses.
He did not formally
Many
apologise.
activists had wanted. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell reports from Kenya.
The welcome on an African night was a warm one. But King Charles knows he faces a sensitive challenge. It has fallen to him to deal with the legacy issues. There's the matter of slavery, and on this visit, Britain's conduct during its colonial past.
No, there was no pity in my heart.
70 years ago in Kenya, there was an uprising against the then British colonial rulers. The Mau Mau rebellion was crushed with great brutality. Many were tortured, thousands died. At a state banquet in Nairobi, the king spoke about painful times.
The wrongdoings of the past are a cause of the greatest sorrow and the deepest regret. There were abhorrent and unjustifiable acts of violence committed against Kenyans, and for that, there can be no excuse.
There was no apology as such. Both Buckingham Palace and the British government believe there cannot be an apology for events for which this generation bears no responsibility.
You see why I say some of you, when you come and say, don't have any relationship, with these people. Look, that was that generation. This is a new generation. That is what they're telling you as well. Why would he take responsibility for what happened 70 years ago? But you faith, let me not go that side again to this night. You can see why we are having problem. The Yoruba people do not want to let go so that we can be free. You want to hold what took place in 1967, 1960 something. The king is saying now that why should I take responsibility for what my forefathers did 70 years ago? Mau Mau rebellion. Thousands were killed. All they wanted was just to be free, but they couldn't get to be free. Let's finish the remaining part. Hey, what are saying? I'm gonna move it a little bit forward.
Committed against Kenyans, and for that, there can be no excuse.
Okay.
There was no apology as such. Both Buckingham Palace and the British government believe.
We will go live at 1 o'clock straight to the other program, which is the 99. As my brother was saying, thank you so much, Mr. Babson. I just saw your comment. I have heard about it. They put up a serious resistance to the British Empire. Mr. Peter George, thank you so much. My brother Timmy says, and I quote, if the refusal of apology is due to the fact that they do not want to pay reparation, because to issue apology is to accept the guilt which gives way for payment of reparation, this topic was debated on the news. I told you I am the last man standing. Emi Montima Mufunyi, and your blood will boil better than mine. It's just a matter of time. Bones, okay. No. I think just move forward a little bit.
And for that, there can be no excuse.
There was no apology as such. Both Buckingham Palace and the British government believe there cannot be an apology for events for which this generation bears no responsibility.
Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Britain wants to draw a line and move on.
I'm sure a lot of
Nicholas
you
Mitchell, BBC News,
will be able
Nairobi.
to.
British wants to draw the line and move on. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà tó ń gbọ́ mi lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa bọ́ìlì ju èmi gan lọ. Ìwọ̀nba lèmi lè bọ́ìlì mọ́ torí inú bíbá ẹni mo wà. But you don't understand. Ẹ fẹ́ máa lọ dìbò for 4 years. I'm just going to share this quickly, then I'm going to go straight to the topic of tonight. Once again, it's 1st of November. This is going to be my first program in the month of November. Continue to support us so that we can do more as a media platform. We need to raise a lot of money for Koiki Media, serious money, so that we look, so that we will be able to do. We are not putting out a leaflet at, there's so much things that we can do. But we cannot do much if there's less resources. So if I send this video out, if you come across it, let it go wide. I mean, I don't get paid for this, so in case you are thinking, because sometimes Tabanika share and combine, you might start thinking, I'll be revenue. No, there's no revenue in there. It's just a message that needs to go around. So when you come across it, and I'm gonna end that for now, and then we have just one more hour, then this program will come to an end. As soon as I finish reading what I'm about to read now, that was put together by, like I said, Bashegun. It was one time the leader of the Ilana UK. They almost wanted to destroy his reputation, just like so many of us, reputation were put at stake. But for long we were able to overcome all these obstacles, as I would say. So I'm just going to start Instagram on Olayomi Koiki, because we have Koiki Media running there. So we will all be going to bed very early. It's just that Kosibashi Febere program, Tia, and it touched some other areas, which is what we did for the first an hour. At least the first hour is just to, allow our blood to settle down, and then we can Moki Egbomi Lankonsi Kule Shitu, Moki Babawa, Alaji Bashir, Moki Sister Sholako Boroku, and also Salako as well. So let's go further and now read what actually brought us tonight. Where is that now? So I gotta go right here and read this as quickly. It's not long, so it's not gonna take long. Mokibaba Gundele Rotimi. So this was put together, like I said, by Bashegun, or you can call him Olusholaoni. He lives in outside London in Leicester. Is a practitioner surgeon with a medical record of about almost 30 years. These are brains that are just sitting here in UK that should have gone back to Yoruba land. And it goes like this. The 1999 Constitution is illegal because the 1963 Constitution says it is. What does it mean? Let's read through. Nigeria has a long history of constitution making dating back to the 1914 Amalgamation Constitution. There were, for example, 4 colonial constitutions: the Clifford Constitution in 1922, the Richard Constitution in 1946, the Macpherson Constitution in 1951, and the Leighton Constitution of 1954. So Constitution mẹ́rin ni a ti ní nígbà tí wọ́n ti dá ibi tó ń pè ní geographical location yẹn ní Nigeria, tó ń pè Nigeria. Therefore, aforementioned constitution had a lot in common. Each successful one was an improvement of the previous. Ó dàbí tó bá ń gbé nǹkan bọ̀, wọ́n kàn lo the same thing. Mo mọ̀ bí ṣe fẹ́ lo, mo fẹ́ wá example kan bọ̀, á wá sí mi lórí. So it's like ó sọ̀bẹ̀. Mo kàn fẹ́ mú wá sí the basic understanding ẹ̀ nílé. Ó lè máa pùn sáwà táwà lábroad, jọ̀rọ̀ àwà wá òkè. Ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà nílé. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ sọ̀bẹ̀. Ọbẹ̀ yẹn dẹ̀ ti fẹ́ máa tán. Ẹ wá bomi tó pọ̀ sí. Kó kọ̀ ṣáàfì ní taste ọbẹ̀ ẹ̀ dẹ̀ fi jẹ̀bà. So pé mo kàn lo yẹn, ó lè má really works in tí, but just to have an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's move. I have to be talking like this so that you can have a background of these. These affirmation constitution had a lot in common, and each successful one was an improvement on the previous. So, Toba Shekon, Woma improve it from the one to Otishetele. The colonial constitution flow seamlessly into what is now called the 1960 Independent Constitution. So, in contra láti ṣàlàyé ni pé mo kí bàbá wa dé Ọ̀ṣun ẹ káàbọ̀ àgbẹ̀lọ́ba. Gbogbo constitution mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tí a ti ní láti 1914 tí mo dárúkọ yẹn, the Clifford Constitution of 1922, the Richard Constitution, ó tẹ̀ forúkọ àwọn tiwa sí orúkọ tiwọn náà àwọn òyìnbó yìí. I mean, imagine they're giving us constitution and they cannot even use, names from the indigenous people. They have to use names from their own end. That shows what brutality our people went through during those times. And when we all love Nigeria at some point, but with all what we've learned and heard about Nigeria today, if you're still saying I love Nigeria, I don't know what to do or what to say to you. I mean, they're giving us a constitution. They cannot even use Baba Jesha constitution, Obi Kelekenke constitution, Mustafa Latin North constitution. They were using the same Oyinbo people's name to present us a constitution. What a very sad time it was, as at the time all this was happening. So, the colonial constitution just flow. It's not like Nigeria is not flowing. Nigeria is omiadagun totiwa lojukan, but as at the time, this means that what transpired into the 1960 independence is just the same constitution that was brought in, and it probably just twist things around. Oh yes, we're live on multiple YouTube channels. You are probably not following us, our Lori WD, and I'm also live on the Koiki Media. You're probably not getting notification because people like us, activists, they turn down our message from traveling fast. So you gotta have to, it's really Lori Instagram. So you just go on YouTube, you'll find me there. That's why I said follow us on all the platforms so that you can be able to know when I'm live. And I don't give date and time and say I'm coming live. I told you yesterday I'll be coming, but I was not sure. Let's move swiftly. So, which flows seamlessly. So the colonial constitution flow seamlessly into the 1960 independent constitution, again, which flow seamlessly into the 1963 republic constitution. And I hope, I'm a lecturer, so I have to ask, or should I twist it around again? If you don't understand it, you can just say, Mr. Koiki, when you repeat it, don't just sit down in the broadcast and assume that you that don't understand, I want to grab it. They understand what I'm saying. If you don't understand it, I'm ready to just, twist it around again and see how I can present it. Because there's no point we're sitting 2 hours, 3 hours, a Congo program, a law. You got to be able to take something home. And what we're taking home is the dismantle of Nigeria. It doesn't matter what you say about it, Nigeria is going to break up. If you break like money, I can't be along because the pain that you all are going through and myself is just too much. And the diaspora cannot fund it anymore. The next generation, they're not going to send money to you. They have to buy a lot of things for themselves and take care of themselves. They are not going to send the money. We are the last generation sending money home. And I'm sure some of you abroad knows that. Benetita Udo, good morning to you. Sparklize, I already said good morning. Sheon Lawa, good morning. So, constitution making in Nigeria. I think we lost, a reputable individual yesterday, a constitutional lawyer, may so rest in peace, 91. I can't remember his name now. I'm sure some of them died painfully that Nigeria never worked. God bless and keep many of those that are still alive, like Afe Babalola, Robert Clark, and all that. They've all talked about the Constitution, and they probably just hoping that the last card that would change everything and probably wind down Nigeria peacefully, hopefully, will be Tinubu. And if that failed, people like Afe Babalola, Robert Clark, and the rest of those, senior, I'm not talking about Festus Keyamo, this bombastard, I'm talking about proper Agbalagba lawyer, they would die with pain. Because some of them work hard to be able to read in the hope that they would draft constitution that will work for every Nigerian, but unfortunately, it was all lies. Without a constitution, a country cannot function. You need that constitution to be able to operate a country. Even if you buy something second hand, you still need a manual to be able to guide yourself. The reason why a lot of cars accidents happen in Nigeria is because you don't have the real manual. You buy a Toyota, you realize that the gearbox is not even near Toyota. And you expect that car to function. Or an accident, or the map and Adekunle Plenty, I cite you. Constitution making in Nigeria was to a pattern. One constitution evolving into the next. One constitution building on the one just passed. Each evolution was construed to accommodate new development. The 1963 Republic Constitution, for example, was made on the back of the 1960 Independent Constitution. So what they're saying there is that constitution that was drafted here in Europe, in UK, not Europe anyway. Our people didn't draft the Constitution. Maybe some of you don't know that. The Constitution was drafted on our behalf. They just give it to us. Go and use it, whether it works or not. But what they're saying, according to this article, is that the Constitution that was brought from 1960 was used towards the 1963. And I hope I'm right, yeah. So when we say something is evolution, was construed to accommodate new development. So the 1963 Republic Constitution, for example, was made on the back of the 1960 Independent Constitution, having freely resolved to establish the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You're right, Adekunle Plenty. Dead cars in abroad is Nigeria is a junkyard. Well, even if it's a junkyard, but the question is, you send a Toyota, they are trying to use a Mercedes-Benz, whatever, inside the Toyota. So, where are we now? Then we got what they call the 1979 Constitution broke the mold. So let's look for the English dictionary of mold. M-O-U-L-D. So Tabasokwe mold. What do we know by that? What is the meaning? Mold. The word
mold.
A mold or mold, either M-O-L-D or M-O-U-L-D, is one of the structures that certain fungi can form. It's like the dust-like colored appearance of the mold. Tó bá gbé oúnjẹ sílẹ̀ nísìn, tó bá padà síbi oúnjẹ yẹn for a while. I work in the hospitality industry. Food poisoning is what a lot of you are eating, because what igbonje yẹn sílẹ̀, èṣìṣe ti balẹ̀, after a while there will be some kind of mold. In that most of the restaurants in Nigeria, most of the eateries, there's a lot of reform that would have to happen when we are in a proper system. Most of you are eating something that will kill you. Òróró tó fi ń dín oúnjẹ yẹn should have been changed every 3 days, because the volume of tó fi ń dín ní puff yẹn, ebi gbogbo ilẹ̀ ń jẹ torí ó gbóná, oúnjẹ puff yẹn torí ó gbóná, but ó ń consume problems sí rẹ lára. I work in the kitchen for more than a decade. maximum, because Ororo and all I think did so many things. So I can't remember, but maximum I think every 3-4 days I'm gonna change Ororo. Because the taste of the food itself, and you only more because what if you sugar pop off in air congel on it, and you get sick, you come on social media, you need help. I can't blame you. It's just that the society of the shit or country called Nigeria. Mokek bomb in the real noun. And like I said, every $1 on our program from this month, we need to raise a lot of money. A lot of money. So if you watch my program and you're looking for how to support me, just go on my website, koikimedia.com. Very, very easy. If you're in America, Canada, you're struggling to send PayPal, I don't have Cash App anymore. It's not working. You can send an Naira, I will still make use of it. So, mold is a hollow container used to give shape to modern. So we go back again to the conversation of what we are reading. So the 1979 Constitution broke the mold. The military dictator replaced the collegiate system. So I'm gonna have to break it down because Bashegu is using too much big grammar. And somebody like us, we are Oputu, we don't understand all this grammar. So what is the meaning of?
Collegiate. Collegiate.
Collegiate. COLLEGIATE. Or you can say Charlie, Oscar, Lima, Echo, Golf, India, Alpha, Tango, Echo.
Collegiate.
Belonging or relating to a college or student. Many of you wants to come and study abroad. Many of you wants to study abroad, but you are not likely to study abroad because studying abroad is not as easy as you might think. It's a business center, whether it's a college or university. Let's go further. 17 minutes past 1, 1st of November 2023. Happy New Month. So the 1979 Constitution broke the mold. The military dictator. It was a very, very bad time for Nigeria. Everybody was just hijacking what they can hijack. The military dictator replaced the collegiate system of government. So we had something that we negotiated that led to the independence of Nigeria. But all that stopped after the military dictator replaced the collegiate system of government. Maybe we should just quickly also look at the meaning of the collegiate system of government. Maybe something is going to pop up from there. So the directory system, the directory republic is a country ruled by a college of severe people who jointly exercise power of a head of state and head of government. So somebody's asking again, what is the meaning of the collegial? Now it's gone back to GILA system. Marked by power, authority vested equally. So we had an equal system. The regional government, go and manage your region and then let the center just be there as figurehead. That was destroyed. And this is why Afenifere, Pandev, Niger Delta, Middle Belt, blah, 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 they're saying that Tinubu should take us back. Remember we talked about that, to the regional government. Restructure Nigeria back to what it used to be in 1963. Tinubu is more concerned about his son attending the Federal Executive Council meeting. I don't even know how they allow his son to sit where the government is having that kind of meeting. It shows the lawlessness in that shit. Imagine Rishi Sunak children sitting where they're having, I don't know. Nigeria is just a country that is crazy. So let me not stress myself this morning. So quickly again, the 1979 Constitution broke the mold. The military dictator replaced the collegiate system of government that we got pre-independent, that existed pre-1966. That is before the first military coup with an elective dictatorship. The 1979 Constitution, which was suspended in 1983, was resurrected on the 5th of May 1999, which is now what we are called the military decree as the 1999 Constitution. So let me quickly break that down to my understanding. So what the writer is saying there, which is Bashegun, also known as Olushola Oni, he was a former leader of the Ilana UK. He wrote this. So the 1979 Constitution is a military decree. Everybody knows that. So what they've done, according to him, is that they've now, no, it was suspended in 1983. The 1979 Constitution was suspended in 1983, but was resurrected on the 5th of May 1999 by a military decree as called 1999 Constitution. In both the 1979 Constitution and its 1999 iteration, I got to look at the meaning of that again. Too many grammar that needs to be broken to pieces. So the word iteration. Iteration is the repetition of a process in order to generate a sequence of outcomes. So each repetition of the process is a single iteration. So sometimes when I repeat myself, Mokiyawa Comfort Ologunja Motikintele Kabo Soyeto and Happy New Month. And thanks so much for looking after us all the time. We appreciate and we love you, ma. Each repetition of the process is a single iteration, and the outcome of each iteration is then the starting point of the next iteration. In mathematics, computer science, iteration is a standard element of algorithms. I was talking about coding yesterday. Grammar company in America of a voice in there. One Mr. Koi, you to coding. Mongbo program any coding. Come on, maybe I call it coding. It might be expensive, but again, it's what if you can learn it. Coding. So let's go back to our conversation. It is still good morning. This program ends at exactly 2 a.m. So we are just about roughly about 33 minutes to the end of the program. So in both the 1979 Constitution and its 1999 iteration, so we've now understand what the meaning of iteration, ITERATTION, or India Tango Echo Romeo Alpha Tango Tango India Oscar November. So in turn repeat. So the Constitution is something that was brought forward from whatever was used as at the time in 1979. It was suspended in 1983. They brought it back again. And from what we were told, Obasanjo never saw the Constitution of Nigeria when he was sworn in as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Obasanjo or a Constitution. What a fraudulent country. But the politicians are so excited that we are not going to be like the Mau Mau. Neither are we going to be like the 18. We are just waiting for miracle to come and solve the problem, which is not too bad, but it might take longer than we expect. We move swiftly forward. Nigeria's 1963 Constitution is unique. When we say something is unique, we are all different breeds, but we are from the same blood. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó ń ràn lára tèmi náà ló ń ràn lára tiẹ̀. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń pè wá ní ọmọlúàbí. But today, our ọmọlúàbí mọ́. When Yoruba man decided to chop somebody's head, nítorí ó fẹ́ ṣe oògùn owó, that is no longer ọmọlúàbí. Do I blame you all? Maybe not, but I don't condone crime. What can we do? We can put a full stop if we start asking questions. We are not ready yet. I think some of us are just loving the way the movement is going. Kó ṣáà máa lọ sẹ́pẹ́sẹ́pẹ́ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Ta ló tẹ kọrin yẹn nígbà yẹn náà? Ó dà pé Shina Peters. Sẹ́pẹ́sẹ́pẹ́ figure 8, sẹ́pẹ́sẹ́pẹ́ figure 8, sẹ́pẹ́sẹ́pẹ́ figure 8. Mo rántí lyrics yẹn mọ́, mo ti gbàgbé ẹ̀. Ǹjẹ́ a lè ríra àwọn akọni tó dàbí àwọn Mau Mau àti àwọn Haitian? We have them. But they're just waiting for something to trigger the spirit in them. That is what makes Igboho unique. Not that Iba Gani Adam does not have that uniqueness as well. He has fought tirelessly during his own days. But probably maybe now it feels too very comfortable. Not that I'm knocking him off, but that is just what I see. Or maybe he's just waiting for the appropriate time and it will activate. Not that we don't have multiple Yoruba people. Even our times of there's a spirit in every Yoruba people that wants to activate, but some of them are activating towards the line of the corrupt country called Nigeria. That's why a lot of you are scared of those guys. But you're not scared if there's another person that can back it up. And that was going to be what was going to happen on July 3rd in Lagos. Well, Biba by anybody that could have duro. But by anybody nemoso. Igboho wanted to go on July 3rd again. I said no. I stopped him. He was ready. And you can think of what would happen. This was less than 48 hours when his house was invaded. Intan Balotele is a different mission. Imagine now that Igboho get to Lagos State on the... It will be like the Haitian and also the Mau Mau Revolution. What any moja mosa la fi ma akíkanjú. Akíkanjú tó bá moja, tó bá mosa, kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí? Abógun lọ. I saw the spirit in him. Láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ third yẹn. We talked all the way through the night. It was going to go. And I said, no, it was not worth it anymore. I had to facilitate for join me. When we are ready, that spirit of one will trigger millions of us out there. If you are expecting the British, like the king, to apologize for the crime committed on the Yoruba people, the Igbos and the Hausas and the rest of the 350 ethnic groups, British government will never apologize. They will not take responsibility for all those atrocities. They will just say it was a very bad time during that era. King Charles, God bless him, do not want to take that responsibility. It will be too much for him. And if we do nothing, we will just remain under the Commonwealth, under the rulership of Britain. Which one do you want? Do you want to be free? And we have cordial relationship with them? Or you just want us to remain Nigerian and go for the election every 4 years? That is if Nigeria will still exist. I didn't say so. Eunice Uchechi, I just asked about you, my beautiful Biafra sister. I love you so much. I spoke to your PM. We didn't speak, but I called him. He was in a meeting. I will be the only person that will call Simon Ekpa. He will return my call. That is the relationship I have with him. I met a Biafra on the bus. He no support DOS, he no support autopilot. And I said, which one are you supporting? You can't just be at the fence, just like some Yoruba people. Emma Sheila Ambo. No problem. I will duro. Eba walenwe. Omo Yoruba no ni gbogbo wa. Even if we all disagree. So while the young man was, not young man, elderly man, he was watching me what I was doing. I said, I love what you're doing. Can I have your page? I said, Koiki Media. And I knew he's a Biafra. I said, are you Biafra? He said, yes. I said, autopilot? He said, no. And I know it might be Doss. I said, Doss. He said, no. Which one you can't be? He said, Simon Ekpa, they don't talk about everything. I said, do you know that I had a meeting with your own leader, that you would probably never have a meeting with him before, or never even have the opportunity? The guy was shocked. So I called Simon maybe just to, I mean, I won't prove where we are. But unluckily, Simon was in a meeting. So he said, Koiki, I'll call you back. And he did call me back. But as at the time, I already sent him a voice. And the man came off on the bus. If the man had stayed on the bus, Simon would have spoken with him. But I sowed a good spirit to him. The guy was shocked. I said I had a meeting with Nnamdi Kanu, with Simon Ekpa, and he never talked about Doss to me and Igbowo. At least I checked. The man might be watching me right now. I don't know. Probably he was going to work anyway. And that man took something away from me. That is how you change people's mindset. Because he's hearing about Simon Ekpa. He says he worked for okay, even if he's working for the government, he's still doing something. Thank you so much, Eunice Uchechi. So let's continue because we are just about 30 minutes. We're talking about the 1999 Constitution for those of you that have joined us. But we also started the first hour talking about the revolution of I-18 and the Mau Mau. And we talked about King Charles currently in Kenya that refused to apologize for what took place of the Mau Mau revolution or rebellion or uprising, where thousands of innocent Kenyans were killed by the British Empire as at the time. The king says, I cannot take responsibility for whatever happened at that time, 70 years ago. It took place between 1920 and 1963. Thousands of innocent lives lost just because they wanted to be free. Once again, Mokiyawa Olajumoke Ajoke, Moki, sister me, Temi, and likewise, Iwakbelwewa, because you always say you watch me on the YouTube. It's only when you come. I love those two names, Iwakbelwewa and Yeyoge. Not for anything, but it's just that they are two special names I've kept for 3 years. I'm okay with my family, my wife, so I'm not that kind of a man. And I've even been advised to run away from women, especially in this movement. They will pull you down. Some of them have tried at the beginning of the movement, but they couldn't penetrate because I didn't give room for that nonsense. I am in this movement till the end of it. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it doesn't matter. The Mau Mau fought the British for 13 years. So let's go back to the almost final part of this write-up put together by Mr. Olusholaone, known as Bashigun. And you heard the word Bashigun. Yes, Bashigun. Ogun. Ogundegun is a surgeon here in UK. World experience, but you can't take it back to Nigeria. It's a shithole country. Last week I had a professor watching me. I don't mention their name. Many times he has been invited to Nigeria on the medical ground. After the program we spoke, nothing will ever work in Nigeria. They've presented all the papers, everything Nigeria needs to get itself going like NHS. They are not ready. So when you say you are struggling, it's because of the 1999 Constitution. Nigeria's 1963 Constitution is unique in that it established Nigeria as a republic and gave Nigeria republic laws. Section 2 of the said Constitution said, Benny, Yami Olajumokeni, we will all fight this battle together to the end. And nobody's going to die. What God cannot do does not exist. We will get there. It's just a journey. I know some of us are in a hurry. I can't give you a date. I can't give you a time. But when everyone is fully ready, it will stop. And when it stops, nothing can take it back. Not even the superpower like America, China, Russia. And when they agree anyway, I can't wait to see how things is going to play out in the future. And always remember, when there's a war, they will change your borders. And I don't want to really touch about what is going on currently in that region. It's all about power grabbing. I just want to remain neutral for now. Nigeria's 1963 constitution is unique in that it established Nigeria as a republic and gave Nigeria republic laws. Section 2 of the said constitution says, Nigeria shall be a federation comprising regions and a federal territory, and shall be a republic by the name of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Remember that man, Senator Adeyeye? This country can never progress. This country can never. You remember that video from Sarah Reporter? I don't have to play it. So when this country is going to progress, even the senators know they can't progress because the constitution is not going to allow it to progress. It says, I am from Igbomina, and you are bringing a police officer, even from Southeast, to come and deal with She Ogbo Igbomina. You are bringing, I use Southeast because that is the closest. Now you don't even bring people from Southeast. You go and bring somebody from Sokoto to come and be police officer in Igbomina. And every crime is local. I was telling my wife last night, America, I respect you people where they live there. I just pray that some of us living in those kind of country, especially America, where there's about over 320 million guns, just be very, very patient. A video popped up on Twitter yesterday, and I also saw it on Instagram. Just like sometimes, you have family, your neighbor is downstairs, there's some noise that sometimes your neighbor cannot hold. Due to the noise between two neighbors, the other neighbor that was complaining that Ariwo yẹn ti pọ̀jù, wọ́n disturb òun, killed the other two upstairs. He lived downstairs. All this was captured by the CCTV in that corridor. I don't know whether some of you have seen the video. Very, very, terrible. And this just happened. So, in America, where there's so much gun, I beg, just take it easy. So let's move swiftly because our time is running very fast. Where are we? The 1963 Republic Constitution is similar to the 1787 Constitution of the United States. So the 1963 Republic Constitution is similar to the 1787 Constitution of the United States that established the country as a republic. America's 1787 Republic Constitution has remained the charter of the U.S. government since that time. Like the American Constitution, the 1963 Republic Constitution was at all the material times Nigerian Charter of Government and Rule of Law. So, I pray we will all be able to travel down there one day. But what I've been told by some of my friends that have been following us, that have shared knowledge with me, if you're living in California, if you don't like the law of California, you can just move to New York. It's a different law. If you're not happy with New York because the tax is too high, where one of my friends that says to me, Koiki, young, well, yes, he's still young. Ona Ometama, I won't say the name of the state. They just need to give them one local government. They will transform it to New York. These are people getting 6-figure in America. These are dedicated Yoruba. They don't call into the program. She will never call into the program. She watch the program, but she doesn't call into the program. She doesn't even comment. They are ready. fully ready. So some of you don't know what Yoruba people that wants to bring something back home. If you're just in you want them to bring that kind of project to this shit or fraudulent constitution where they will put their business there and that business can then be transformed to the north. Is that not what they've done with all our radio, our TV? They pull it out and gave it to the north. So today we don't have access to all those things anymore. Nigeria shall be a federation. I've read that. I don't want to go back again. That will be repetition. So I'm just going to go straight from Nigerians military dictators were on a frolic, F-R-O-L-I. I haven't got the time. I will have gone a translation of that. Excuse me. Of their own. When they promulgate the 1999 Constitution to change the charter of government. We had something that was running there, but I changed that. Nigeria's military dictator had no standing in law to make that change. The military are bastard, and they are the most wealthy people in Nigeria. A lot of you know them. We know them as friends. We know them as family friends. We know them as neighbors. We know them as somebody that knows somebody. One has I didn't even realize that he was a retired military guy. That was some few years back. Probably about 7-8 years. The children wanted to travel. They need 2 7-seater. We went to pick them up. Massive house. Big house. Morirule in the UK. It was later I was told that it was an ex-military guy in Nigeria. But the children are just enjoying life. They don't come to Nigeria fish in Nigeria. So a lot of you don't know what the military has done. They've destroyed that country and they are still holding us together. We gotta break the shell. We gotta break it to pieces so that everybody go their separate ways. It might be painful, but the end game will be fruitful. Let's move swiftly because we're just 20 minutes away to the end of the program. And I don't want to go more than 2 o'clock because I have to go to bed as well. The Republic. You might be wondering why am I putting my eyes like that, even with glasses. It's just what it is. The Republic has been established, and with the Republic laws that were codified in writing. Before Nigerian military dictator promulgate the 1999 Constitution, the legal authority and power to change the Republic Constitution resides solely in the Constitution that created the Republic. Legally, authority and power could not lawfully reside anywhere else. Section 1, effect of this Constitution of the 1963 Constitution says, this Constitution shall have the force of law throughout Nigeria and subject to provision of Section 4 of this Constitution. If any other law, including the Constitution of a region, is inconsistent with this Constitution shall prevail, and the other law shall, to the extent of the inconsistent, be void. And if anything is void, that means kowole. Just like America 1787 Republic Constitution, Nigeria 1963 Republic Constitution provided for exactly how the rules were to be amended. If needed, authority to amend did not lie anywhere else. Section 4, alteration of this Constitution of the 1963 Constitution provides 1. Parliamentary may alter any of the provisions of this Constitution, provided that insofar as it alters any of the provisions of this section 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 to 36, 8, 41, 42, 43, 50, 51, 52, 62, 67 to 94, 104, 113, 115, 117, 119, 120, 122 to 125, 127, 129, 130, 133 to 147, 150, 152, 154 to 161. And the schedule to this Constitution, or insofar as they apply to any of these provisions, Section 66 and the 165 of this Constitution, an Act of Parliament shall not come into operation unless each legislative House or of at least 2 regions have passed a resolution signifying consent to it having effect. Section 510 provides the provisions of the Constitution shall not be altered except in accordance with the provisions of this section. Nigeria is a republic courtesy of the 1963 Republic Constitution. Without the said 1963 Constitution, there was no republic. So Nigeria is a fraud. All these are read. All those legal, Falano, name any one of them. They are well learned to understand all these. Mokiyawa, Ogini, Fiki, Eshigoni, thank you for joining. We're just the last lap. The 1963 Republic Constitution attached a charter of government to the republic status that it had established. This charter of government could only be lawfully changed by the following rules laid out in the 1963 Republic Constitution. So the 1999 Constitution failed to follow the rules of the Republic and is as a consequence illegal, null, and void. Yoruba Nation is on the home stretch. You can read this. I'm going to post it later as well to my YouTube channel. What's it called? Community, in case you want to read it as well. And that is how far we can go at the early hours of this morning. I remain loyal to all the Yorubas. Mokibubuale Nkonsipe, Happy New Month. Nigeria is just not going to work. It has taken us backwards for a very long time. We love it as at some point, but with everything that you understand now, if you're still one of those loving it, I wish you all the best. So, and on that note, I will be saying a very good morning to my beautiful mother, to my wife, my children, to Baba Kintoye, to all the Yorubas, to every one of you, regardless of your views of whether to dismantle Nigeria or not. It will stop working one day. It's just a matter of time. And we hope that time is not going to take too long. I've posted that as well on my Twitter space as well. So in case you want to go and read that as well. I don't have any, I can't get stars on Facebook, you know. I don't even like Facebook anymore, but I just have to keep using it. But there's always a other way you can support us, I'm sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Roland. And on that note, a very good morning. Checking out now. Easy Dollar, good morning. If I didn't mention your name, it's probably maybe I didn't spot you there. Ayoku, I can cite you on the Instagram. Who is Ayoku, my brother? Moki went to America. It's 2 o'clock here. America is just, I said, better for Gini. And if you say to support us, remember it has no link with Yoruba Nation. It's just supporting a media organization. Always remember that. We have to tell you that. And it is ethical to ask money from the public. Thank you so much, Mazi, and all those Yoruba brothers and sisters. You can support us through our Ko-fi link. You can support us through other things as well. Moki Prince Adekunle. Prince is not any name but a proper link. Mr. Labisama Mokinyi. Ijaya Jaya, I cite you if you're on board. I'm sure if not, If you're watching it as a repeated program, I hope you will leave a comment and I'll be reading it later as well. For those of you that have watched it live, I hope you've taken something, which is freedom is not free. Nobody wants you to be free. And if you want to support us through our PayPal, remember it's MUSAKALAM1 as in figure at yahoo.com. If you're not too sure of anything, just reach out to me. info@koikimedia.com. I personally handle those emails. Thank you so much, Orayola Masun. And if you missed my program yesterday, that one was much hotter than this one. This one is quiet because I want to get your attention. Maybe the one in the afternoon might drive you nuts. Mokigbo Wolenkonsi and the family, the children, and all our grandmothers. And as I say, Orayola Masun, happy new month. And everyone celebrating their birthday in this month, I say happy birthday in advance. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Odaro.